I really enjoy Arizona Sunshine, a zombie shooter for the PlayStation VR, which was published by Vertigo Games. And recently, they announced a new PSVR game called A Fisherman's Tale, which was developed by Interspace VR. But instead of it being a shooter, this game is a puzzle game. So, is A Fisherman's Tale any good? A Fisherman's Tale is a PSVR puzzle game that has you playing as a fisherman puppet named Bob. You live in a small cabin right next to your lighthouse, and one day a storm alert appears and you have to get to the top of your lighthouse to turn the light on. The story's pretty decent, and it introduces more characters and unique things as the game progresses. The game has 4 chapters, and each chapter takes place in a new area. At one level you'll be in a cabin, and in the other you'll be at sea. And there are a few more areas, but I won't spoil those. Visually, these areas look really good, and they have a ton of detail. The main mechanic of this game involves bigger and smaller versions of yourself. At the beginning of the game, you finish building a small but exact model of your cabin, and soon after, you see yourself in that model. Every movement you make is mirrored in the model, and soon after, your roof gets taken off and you see a bigger version of yourself in the room above you. This makes for some really good puzzles, and visually spectacular moments. Sometimes you'll have to hand your bigger or smaller self items to change the size of it, and other times you'll have to do things as your different sizes that you couldn't do as yourself. The puzzles themselves are really creative and innovative. The puzzles are so well designed for VR that I don't think this game would be possible outside of VR. This game is a great example for what VR can do for games. But while the puzzles are really good, they're extremely easy to beat. And I only found myself getting stuck once, and it was only for a few minutes. Some might see this as a downside, but I thought it was refreshing for a game like this, as a lot of the PSVR puzzle games I've played recently involve a lot of stumbling around, and it can get quite repetitive and boring. So to have a game with amazing puzzles and being fast-paced was enjoyable for me. But with that comes my main problem with the game. It takes around an hour and a half to beat, so by the time I beat the game, I was left wanting more. Besides that, I didn't have any problems with the game. It's really polished, and I didn't find any bugs in the game. One thing players might not like is that there is no smooth turning, only click turning. But I personally don't care about that. So overall, A Fisherman's Tale is really good. It has amazing puzzles, level design, graphics, and it's just an amazing game. The style kind of made me feel like I was in a Pixar movie. It was really well done. So if you like a good puzzle game, this is a great choice. The only reason I wouldn't recommend it is if you're looking for a lengthy game, as you won't find it here. But besides that, this is one of the best puzzle games on the headset.
Is there anything to eat? I'm hungry.